as most of you who watch my channel probably already know, if you've seen my last video, which was a channel announcement that announced that my husband and I are expecting our first child. We are super excited. We are like over the moon, basically. At the same time, we're also really like nervous, you know, like, oh my goodness, here we go, no turning back now. So anyway, it's kind of a mixture of emotions, especially because my husband and I both very recently experienced some pretty devastating losses in our family, and we've been going through a lot of emotional stuff with that. So this is a lot of emotions as well added on top of that. So this is my first pregnancy update video, and I am going to be giving you a update for weeks 1 through 4 of my very first pregnancy. So if you want to hear about that, stick around. So like I said, this is our very first pregnancy, so I have been watching tons of YouTube videos and doing a lot of research to find out what I should be expecting with all of this. You know, I have the gist. I know the gist of the process, but there's a lot they don't tell you. Let me say, I had been on the pill for, you know, the majority of my adult life, and I had recently gone off the pill, and I had some terrible side effects. It was a really bad time and very emotional and devastating time in my family, and that like drastic change in hormones was not easy for me. So I went off for, it was either 1 month or 2 months, and then I went back on. I thought that was, I didn't have anything else that I knew that I could do other than just go back on the pill that would help stabilize my you know, emotions and mood and whatnot while I was going through this stuff with my family. And that seemed to help. I don't know if it was mind over matter or what, but I went back on the pill for 1 month, chilled out, gathered myself, and then I went back off of the pill. And that is, I'd been off the pill for about a month when I had my yearly doctor's appointment with my gynecologist, and we talked about everything. And I am 36, and actually I'm going to be 37 no, my husband's birthday is tomorrow. I'm going to be 37 in a few days, 3 days. So I'll have to ask, I don't know if that is considered advanced maternal age or not. I don't think it is. I think maybe it is when you hit 40. But anyway, we discussed the different issues or things that may be a little more difficult for me because I am over the age of 35. And we had talked about things like how long it generally takes people to get pregnant after they've been on the pill for so long, and that average is 6 months. And so it took me 3 months, although and I explain all this into further detail, but then 3 months later I missed my period. So how it works is when you get pregnant, you go back 2 weeks to the first day of your last period, and that is your first week of pregnancy, or week 0 to 1. And so you're technically pregnant before you are pregnant. Then you know, you ovulate and you conceive, and then there's another week in between there, and then you are supposed to start your period again. And at that point that you are supposed to start your period again and you miss your period, then that is 4 weeks. So when I learned I was pregnant, I missed my period, and I was like, okay, you know, there's no way we got pregnant so quickly. It's probably just because I haven't been off the pill that long, and now my body's starting to like regulate itself and come off of being on the pill for so long. But then it went several more days, and I still had missed my period. Well, prior to that, I usually start my period on a Saturday, and you know, that Friday I felt like I was going to start my period. I kind of had those pre-period cramps, and I was expecting to. And then nothing happened, and then I finally took a test that Friday, and the test was positive. So looking back in retrospect, that 2 weeks from conception to when I was supposed to start my period, looking back, it made sense. I was extremely agitated and like PMS times 10 for sure. But I didn't know if that was because I was pregnant or if that was because I was going through, going through grief and things like that with the losses. But it was real. It was for sure. I mean, it probably was a combination of both, I'm sure. But PMS times 10, and I was a little more tired than normal, but I'm really active and I work a lot and I exercise and I'm always doing something. So sometimes I get really tired. That wasn't really a key clue that I was pregnant either. What else had happened? I did have a really long bout of insomnia, and come to find out, in retrospect, this was that week 2 and 3, I guess, or between conception and when I missed my period. That was during that time. I had insomnia. It was terrible. I will go randomly in and out of periods of insomnia. It usually doesn't last very long. I could take a melatonin or something and go to sleep and kind of kick myself back into a normal sleeping cycle, or run a couple extra miles or something like that and really wear myself out and do things like that, which I wasn't going to take any medicine or anything like that. I hadn't researched that, didn't know, I didn't ask my doctor what I could and couldn't take, but I just went with it. And then I think I slept like one night, and that was the day after I was supposed to start my period, the day after I missed my period. Then that Monday, so Saturday, missed my period, Sunday still didn't start, Monday I woke up with a cold. Then I dealt with this cold for the next 10 days. Okay, it was awful. So that week that I was supposed to be on my period, I just kind of let it go, tried not to pay too much attention to the fact that I never did start my period and not get too excited. I know the statistics on these things, and not try and take a pregnancy test too early. So then I finally took the pregnancy test on the Friday, got the positive, and I am just sicker than a dog. I didn't want to call the doctor and didn't want to, jump the gun or anything like that. So until I took the pregnancy test, and I would take the pregnancy test too early. So I did. And then that day on my break at work, I called my doctor, got an appointment set up, and then I asked her, look, I have an awful cold. What can I take? She's like, so she explained to me, no ibuprofen products, that I could take Tylenol for a fever, and that I could take, allergy relief like Benadryl or Claritin. So I was like, okay, I have Tylenol, I have Benadryl. Well, I was going out of town with my mom this weekend, and I didn't bring any of that with me. And I had asked her, and she's like, oh yeah, I have some Benadryl, I'll bring it. Well, we go out of town, we were going out of town for the weekend, we get out of town, I'm just getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I don't want to tell her, I don't want to tell anybody. I'm like, at this point I'm 4 weeks pregnant, but it's still so soon. And my husband and I had decided we were going to keep this to ourselves until we were into the safe zone. Both of our families have been through enough loss at this point. We don't want to put them through any more if something awful should happen. So she accidentally just brought me Claritin, and that was not going to cut it. So I went through the 2 days, Friday and Saturday. We ended up coming home Saturday night because there was a big snowstorm, but absolutely miserable. At that point, I thought I had strep throat. Like, I was so sick, absolutely no relief from any type of medication whatsoever. I had nothing, and I couldn't tell her, and we couldn't go to the store, and it was just awful. So I get home, I'm so sick. I end up taking the next Monday and Tuesday off of work because I was so sick, and then I finally got some relief. Like, I went through, the whole head cold thing and then the whole chest cold thing. And I seriously like felt like I was one of those fish, the hagfish. Has anybody ever heard of the hagfish or know what the hagfish is? It's like a primitive fish that lives in the deep depths of the oceans, and its defense mechanism is to produce copious amounts of slime. That was me. I went through like 3 boxes of Kleenexes, ended up having like half bloody noses because of it. I mean, I was a mess. It was awful. And I'm like missing my first, few weeks of pregnancy because I'm so sick. So anyway, throughout the first 4 weeks, some of the other signs and symptoms that I noticed, in addition to the extreme PMS and like just agitation and just, not fun to be around person, I also was a little more tired than normal. I also had that insomnia, and then I kind of would randomly be like nauseous for a minute, and then I would be fine. I wouldn't get sick or anything. I'd just be randomly like nauseous for a minute, and then totally fine. I didn't notice any more frequent urination, no issues with my chest, no pain or no change in color. I didn't have any type of cramping, like maybe just a tiny little bit, like randomly, that didn't even worry me whatsoever. It was just small amounts of cramping. So at this point, I am in my 5th week and recording this pregnancy video update for weeks 1 through 4. And I will have my first doctor's appointment in, in three weeks. Yeah, so at about between 8 and 9 weeks is when I'll have my first doctor's appointment. I'm really excited about that. I am trying to be good. I am trying to eat as healthy as I can. I kind of been off the health kick for a little while. I was doing really well there. I was doing really well exercising and eating healthy for several years there. And then I kind of got off the bandwagon a little bit and kind of relaxed my diet and exercise. And I was just starting to, try and get things back into a normal routine. So I'm getting there, but I'm eating, plenty of fruits and vegetables, actually plenty of vegetables. I should probably increase my fruits. I'm sticking to a very small amount of caffeine per day. I am also trying to eat as much protein as I can. I have chicken, so I have plentiful egg bounty, so we're constantly eating eggs and cottage cheese and whatnot to increase my protein. So I'm doing pretty well as far as the food goes. Another thing that I have seen people talk about is their like sudden rapid increase in thirst, and I haven't had that either. I do drink at least a couple of bottles of water a day, and then I also drink a smoothie, and then I drink a little bit of coffee, so I am getting quite a bit of fluids, but I haven't noticed any changes in that as of week 4. So those are my symptoms that I've noticed so far, and those are the things that I'm eating and working on eating. I was thinking about doing some videos of what I eat when I'm pregnant, and also doing some other pregnancy videos. If anyone is interested in those, let me know, comment down below. I'd also love to know if anyone that is subscribed to my channel is also pregnant. Are you pregnant with your first child? Are you pregnant with your second or third? How far along are you? Do you have a YouTube channel? I want to, I'd love to connect with some people and follow your journeys as well. And I look forward to filming some more of these update videos. I think that I will continue to do every 4 weeks unless things really start to change, because I really like to see, what people are experiencing. Actually, I think maybe I'll do every 2 weeks. So I don't want to do every week. I think that would be a little much, but I want to do at least every other week and share what I'm experiencing with others so that I can help others, and we can figure this thing out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know, comment down below. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, so I also, of course, have to do the belly shots. Of course, I'm only, in my 5th week at this point, so there is really nothing other than bloat to show, but might as well start showing the progression. So here we go. Okay, so you can see from the front that I'm bloated, but so here's my side profile. Just bloat, really, not seeing any baby or anything. I definitely can't suck in anymore. That is not an option. But right now it's just bloat. So we will see how this changes over time.